Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at it. This Tim Norman case has new details coming out just about every week. This buttermilk biscuit hip-having man has obviously wrote a check that big derriere can't cash. But before we get into that, be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of this tea. Now let's get back into it. So if you don't already know the story, let your girl Chronicle bring you up to speed and give you a quick rundown on what's happening. So Tim Norman, the son of Sweetie Pie's owner, Miss Robbie, is currently in jail for a murder to hire plot against his very own nephew, Andre Montgomery, who tragically lost his life in March of 2016. Now Andre was 21 years old at the time and was a frequent cast member on his grandmother's hit show, Welcome to Sweetie Pies. Tim and his accomplice, Terica Ellis, who was an exotic dancer from Memphis, used burner phones to communicate with each other, and Terica also communicated with Andre the day of his murder, allegedly setting him up. Now, Tim obtained a life insurance policy on Andre for $450,000 that named himself, Tim, as the sole beneficiary, and he and his insurance agent, Wiley Wael Yagnam, lied on the insurance docs, which resulted in Tim never getting the money from his nephew's death. So now apparently the reason why Tim wanted his nephew taken out in the first place was due to his mother, Miss Robbie's life savings being taken from her home. It was about $200,000. They talked about it on Welcome to Sweetie Pies. Now Andre was a suspect, but upon being questioned by the police, he allegedly said that he thought it was his Uncle Tim that did it. So Tim in return wanted blood for Andre pointing the finger at him. Days after Andre pointed the finger, Andre was shot and killed, and all signs, according to the feds, pointed to Tim and Terica being a part of the plot. But I'll get to the feds later, child. These two sat cool from 2016 to August of 2020. Nothing happened. No arrests, no nothing. They thought they were good, right? Child, that's what the feds want you to do. They want you to get lax so you can mess up. Now, child, in August of 2020, these two suspects were arrested along with the insurance agent, Wiley Wael Yagnam. And I honestly think that Wael and Miss Terica is singing like a canary when it comes to that creepy Tim Norman. Creep. How the evidence that they have against Tim and Terica is strong, and I mean really strong. And the reason why I say this is because Andre was murdered March 14th of 2016. Now by March 22nd of 2016, police were already putting out search warrants to track phones. Now there was an unknown party whose phone was tracked first. Then Terica's phone got tracked May 2nd of 2016. Now this is by the regular St. Louis Police Department, and obviously they did not have enough evidence to continue. Now y'all know they don't have Fed resources, so the case went cold, but they were still onto something. So after sitting cold for 4 years, in January of 2020, they wanted detailed cell phone records of 2 of Terica's phones. And then on January 22nd of 2020, one of Tim's phones. Child, now they getting on to something. Now on January 27th, they wanted detailed records of another one of Tim's phones. And January 28th, they want search warrants on 2 of Terica's email accounts. After that, the feds was like, we got enough evidence, let's go ahead and take over the case from here on out. Child, the feds get involved and they search through another one of Tim's phones and then an unknown party's phones. Then they get search warrants for Terica's 2 Instagram accounts. Child, in March, that's when they start to tie in Wiley Wael Yagnam's email accounts and his iCloud accounts, and then iCloud accounts for Terica. Like I said, the feds have been building this case, and that case is strong. The evidence is strong. Now after that, they begin to search Tim's Instagram account. Now y'all know men don't really put stuff on Instagram like that. So they decide to hit Terica with a pin register tap and trace associated with her Instagram and Facebook accounts. And what that pretty much does is a pin register search warrant is used to obtain the installation and use of a pin register or trap and trace device on your phone with cellular site and location information. Pretty much Big Brother was on your phone, sis. They can hear you, they know where you are, and they can probably see you if you don't cover up your phone lens. They ended up with a phone line wire that they put on both Terica's phone and Tim's phone, and a few weeks after that, they was locked up. Now let me read you one of the court docs and tell you how Miss Terica said everything went down. It says Miss Ellis is charged with conspiracy to commit murder for hire and murder for hire. Miss Ellis is accused of participating in the instant offense with James Timothy Norman. Miss Ellis was in a relationship with Mr. Norman prior to the murder. She had also met the victim at a nightclub where she was dancing. Miss Ellis received a message from Mr. Norman asking her to meet him in a hotel room in St. Louis. Miss Ellis was living near Memphis at the time. She drove from Memphis to St. Louis and met with Mr. Norman. Mr. Norman had flown to St. Louis earlier that day. Mr. Norman confirmed that Miss Ellis knew the victim, and he offered to pay her to help Mr. Norman locate the victim. Miss Ellis agreed. She later advised the police that Mr. Norman wanted to locate the victim so his boys can get up on him. Y'all heard that? Mr. Norman purchased 2 prepaid cellular telephones. One of the prepaid phones was given to Miss Ellis. That phone was activated on March 14, 2016, the day of the murder. Miss Ellis met the victim at a different hotel and she reached out to Mr. Norman. He advised that his boys were not ready at the time. She was told to stay in touch and call the number he placed in the prepaid phone when the victim was in a different location. Miss Ellis then went to a shopping mall and purchased a pair of pants for the victim. She again contacted the victim and called the other prepaid phone to provide the new location on Natural Bridge Road. Miss Ellis then drove to the victim's location on Natural Bridge and lured the victim out of that location and into her car. Miss Ellis again contacted the other prepaid cellular telephone advising that she was at that location with the victim. The victim spoke to Miss Ellis in her car for approximately 2 minutes. He received the new pair of pants and exited the car. Miss Ellis heard gunshots and she left the scene. She did not contact the police, rather she immediately drove back to Memphis. Mr. Norman flew back to Los Angeles later that night. Miss Ellis's prepaid phone was deactivated the day after the murder and was discarded at a gas station. Miss Ellis was paid approximately $9,200 for her assistance in the murder for hire. Mr. Norman stood to collect $450,000 in life insurance he had purchased on the victim. Miss Ellis and Mr. Norman continued to maintain a personal relationship after the murder. Miss Ellis is facing a minimum sentence of life imprisonment and the case is eligible for seeking the death penalty. The evidence of the government's case is strong. Miss Ellis did live in St. Louis from 2010 until sometime in 2016. However, she no longer has any family, community, or financial ties to the Eastern District of Missouri. Miss Ellis has no physical or mental health problems. However, her 2-year-old daughter has a serious medical condition and requires daily treatment. Her daughter is in the custody of Miss Ellis's mother. Miss Ellis does not have a passport and has never left the United States. She is self-employed with no financial liabilities. Miss Ellis has a long list of minor offenses, receiving either a short term in jail or a fine. She has no felony convictions. Now, with all of this being said, the trigger man has still not been named, but just as the feds were watching for all of this time, just waiting for information to be gathered, I'm sure they're waiting on one of these dummies to point the finger, and I don't think it will be Tim, because either way you look at it, those buns of his are toast. Terica will probably be the one to tell it for a shorter sentence. They will both be going to court on October 7th. Terica will be going via Zoom and Tim will be in the courthouse. Now your girl has access, so I will be listening live and bringing you back information as I receive it. We'll see what happens to Mr. Yagnam, honey, because he's been promised a speedy trial and he's the only one of the 3 that's been promised that. So we already know he's not going to get the same type of consequences that they get. And if he can point that finger, they probably really would just let him go. But child, we'll see how that all goes down. In the meantime, just leave a comment. Tell me what you think about everything that's going on, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. All right, in this video, I want to tell you about a company called Ash Kicking. Now, you know your girl Chronicles would not promote a company without doing one of those thorough Chronicle Speaks investigations, honey, and Ash Kicking definitely passed the test. Y'all make sure to check out ashkicking.com for one of the best 100% natural home fragrance and beauty products, honey, and use my code Chronicles at checkout for an extra 15% off just for you. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new episodes.